Welcome to this instructional video to help guide community groups through the Community Bike Fund application process. Here I will give you a quick overview on how to complete the application form and the type of information that is needed to best present your project to the Community Bike Fund review panel. All Community Bike Fund details can be found at www.at.govt.nz/bikefund. This includes the policy document shown here, which we highly recommend that any group considering applying to the Community Bike Fund read first. We also encourage interested groups first speak with a Auckland Transport Active Mode staff team member. Contact details can be found here. To make your submission to the Community Bike Fund, click below link. I will now take you through the process to complete an application. This is an Auckland Transport Fund. However, Auckland Transport is using Auckland Council funding tool to administer the grant. This is why you may see reference to both Auckland Transport and Auckland Council when completing your application. Please read this home page before completing your application. This will give you some simple tips and tricks to help you understand the form. Some key messages on this page includes the contact details if you need further assistance, details on saving your draft application and submitting your application. You will need to view it before you submit it. Also on this page are some tabs here, which will allow you to either start a submission, preview the form, or you can also download a copy of the application form before you submit one online. To start your application, you will need to start the Start a Submission button. Please note the content may vary slightly to what I show you here, depending on the options you choose when completing your application. I'm now going to click Start a Submission. You'll now come to this page. You will either need to log in or register to access the application form. If you have previously applied to the Community Bike Fund in previous years, you can log in with your details here, or you will need to register following the prompts. As I've already registered, I will log in here. On the welcome page, is the first page you'll come to. Please read this and follow any prompts. Please also note that any section in the application form marked with the red asterisk or a red star indicates a field that you are required to complete. As I have already started an application for this, I'm going to go on to a mock application form I've created to go through the process of the video for you. However, if you're starting your new application, click through to the next page. On this page, there are also the green buttons on the top and bottom, which will help you navigate through the pages as you need to. I'm just going to go to an application form I've created for the purpose of this video. So the first page that comes through when completing your application form is the contact details. Here, complete the details as requested, including your community group's name, address details, etc. You will then click the next button. With your application details here, you will need to include what your legal status of your organisation is. Depending on your selection, different group requirement columns will appear. Please complete all sections as required. If your group has no legal status, you can use what is known as an umbrella group who will receive the funds on your behalf. You can refer to the policy document for further details on using an umbrella group. Below, we also ask you to provide the organisation's objectives. Here, explain your group, what you do, including the details such as the purpose of your group, the community you serve or support, and the types of activities your group is involved in and other projects you may deliver within the wider community. We will then push the next page to navigate us to the next section. In my example, I've chosen that my organisation does not have legal status, therefore I'm required to use an umbrella organisation. Here, we complete the umbrella organisation's details. An umbrella organisation is used when your community group does not have a legal status, that is, your group is not an incorporated society or charitable trust. These fields or columns will only appear if you have selected that you'll be using an umbrella organisation. You may like to get the details from your umbrella organisation before completing your application, or you can download a preview of this form at the start of the application. You may also like to go through this part of the form with your umbrella organisation. The umbrella organisation will be able to provide you with all the registration numbers required to complete the application. A reminder that you will need a letter from your umbrella organisation indicating they have agreed to be your umbrella for making your submission. This letter will need to be attached with your submission, as I've completed here. Now we come to the project details part of the application form. In this section of the application, complete details specific to the project you are applying for funding. Start with the project or event title. You can make up a title that aligns with your project if you don't have an actual name for it as yet. For project description, please describe exactly what the project will involve. If you think about details such as who, what, why, where, when, and how to answer this question, this should give you an overview of the details to include here. When answering this question, the review panel should be able to understand exactly what is happening as part of your event or project to determine if they will fund your project. Please provide a clear overview of your project event and exactly what this will look like and how it will be carried out. For project location, if you know the exact location, please include it. This may be, for example, a local reserve or your group's facilities. However, if the exact location is unknown at this stage, please include a suburb your project will take place. Then we ask you include a start and finish date for your project. We then ask you to provide details on the community benefits. Describe the benefits of this project will have in your local community. We encourage you to think about the real tangible benefits your project can provide. I've provided an example here. We then ask you to provide details on which of the aims of the bike fund that your project aligns with or will meet. Please tick by selecting the boxes as appropriate which of the aims your project will meet. Below, we then ask you to provide detail on how you will meet these aims with no more than one sentence per aim. Participants, please estimate the number of people who you envisage will participate in your event. Then provide details on how you will reach your target audience or the group of people that you want to participate in your event. We would like you to then provide details on how your group will support cycling in your community following the delivery of the event which you are seeking funding for. Lastly, on this page, we request that you complete the health and safety component of the form. We need to know that you have a plan in place to keep people safe during your event or project. Now we come to the budget section of the form. Please complete the budget section in detail, including how much money you are requesting through the fund. Please note that a maximum amount of $5,000 will be given per group per project. Include a list of the items you will use the funds for and the cost of each item. Please refer to the Community Bike Fund policy documents for the items that can and cannot be purchased through the Community Bike Fund. A reminder, among other items, the purchase of equipment, including bikes and helmets, is outside of the scope of the Community Bike Fund and therefore cannot be funded through this grant. We encourage you to seek quotes for proposed costs and include these in your application. To attach documents, simply click the Browse button here, and then select your files and attach them. More columns can be added as needed using these buttons here. AT staff may be able to help find suppliers if you're unsure where to get quotes for services for your project. With other contributions, please include here any details of any other sources of funding you have for your project. This may include volunteer time and labour or other funds that have been distributed from other groups to support your project. We now again navigate to the next page, supporting documents. It's very important. Please ensure that all financial attachments are completed as detailed on this page and attach proof of the bank account details. When completing the checklist, please ensure you've completed all requirements before submitting your applications. We strongly suggest you contact AT staff before submitting your application for guidance and support with your application. So as you've done these things, or if they have been completed, select these. We will then navigate again to the next page button. The next page we come to is the declaration page. Please complete these sections at the end of this page. Reading them and ensuring you've completed each of them. Accept or decline. Encourage you to accept that. On the date in which you have completed your application. We then provide details on how you found out about the Community Bike Fund. Again, we move to the next page. Before you submit your application, it will bring you back to the starting of your application and it'll take you through the form so you can see exactly what you've completed. If there are any sections that have been incorrectly completed or detail is not provided where it is required, it will prompt you to go back to these places and complete them correctly. I'm scrolling through my application here and it's requesting me to provide the number that I've provided is not correct, so I've just provided a mock option here. If I was to add a correct detail in there, I would be able to update that. And the submit button would then be all green and I'd be able to hit the submit button from there. I'm not going to do this because it's just a mock number that I've put in there for the purposes of this video. Once you hit the submit button, the application has gone through, a new screen or tab will appear acknowledging your application has been received and you will be provided with submission number. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any further questions on completing your application for the Community Bike Fund, please contact the Auckland Transport team as provided on the Community Bike Fund website. Thank you very much.